Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet. The WBC champion Tyson Fury has made an offer to Oleksandr Usyk, to which the unified WBA, WBO and IBF champion has responded to. So we'll talk about the Fury offer first, then get to Usyk's clip. I'm not playing the Fury clip because there's music under it and I'll get pinged by YouTube. But Fury wanting 70-30. Saying that for every day that a deal doesn't get done, 1% will be subtracted from the offer. So tomorrow it would be 71-29 and so on. So I guess people will look at this because Usyk and his team want 50-50. Usyk and his team have also suggested they're willing to do 60-40, with 60 going to the winner. And Tyson Fury with his post says the king has spoken, wanting 70-30. Remembering that there was a potential deal for Saudi Arabia, but that got taken off the table when Tyson Fury couldn't come to an agreement with the Saudis. From all reports, he wanted an astronomical sum, and the Saudis laughed them out of the building. So now they're left with Wembley, April 29. And even Frank Warren, Tyson Fury, or one of his promoters for Tyson Fury, Frank Warren, says that they need to make that deal quick smart. Otherwise, that date goes away and they may have to look at other options. And potentially that could be a fight against Joe Joyce. But I think Tyson Fury needs to realize, because he said Usyk's not going to get the same sort of money against anyone else. Well, I guess he already has had pretty decent money against Anthony Joshua, but the thing is, Tyson Fury doesn't get the same sort of money outside of an Anthony Joshua fight. He's already fought Deontay Wilder a couple of times for big purses in the second and third fights. What else is around there that's going to pay him a similar big purse, especially an undisputed fight? All the legacy that comes with it, and also the financial reward. Maybe this isn't the biggest commercial fight that could be made. Maybe Joshua Fury is bigger, but there's still tens of millions of dollars on the line. And I can understand Tyson Fury not wanting to budge. He believes he's the A-side. He believes he's selling out the stadium and going to help do most of the business for this fight. But without Oleksandr Usyk, there is no fight. So Fury could go from potentially tens of millions of pounds to significantly less facing anyone else right now, apart from maybe Anthony Joshua. And even then, that fight probably is nowhere near as big as it once was, given Joshua sort of had a couple of losses on the bounces and is on a sort of partial rebuild. Even then, you had Fury only giving Joshua a 24-hour deadline in 2022 to make a deal. This one's been strung out for a while. Clearly they're interested in making the fight, but on their terms, their financial terms. And Oleksandr Usyk and his team have said that Fury and co, Bob Arum of Top Rank and Frank Warren of Queensbury, that they're being greedy, that they want too much, that Oleksandr Usyk deserves to be well paid. Even in this post here, you can see Alexander Krasjuk, who's involved with the Usyk team, says browsing for fresh underwear in the shopping mall, ? And a thumbs up. So you have a situation of Fury. He doesn't want to budge. He doesn't want 50-50, doesn't want 60-40. He wants to take the lion's share, 2/3 to 1/3. And some people will say, maybe that's fair, because if the fight's in the UK, then he's generating a lot of the money. But without Oleksandr Usyk, the dance partner who has 3 of the 4 belts, it's not an undisputed fight. Without him, where else can he get the similar sort of money right now, immediately? If he faces Joyce, it's going to be probably, a quarter or a third of the sort of payday? I mean, do these things matter? Well, clearly to Tyson Fury, because he's making this all about money. And Oleksandr Usyk will get to his clip now. So he says, okay, he'll take 70-30, but there is a catch. Check it out.
Hey, greedy belly, I accept your offer. 70-30 split the fight with you on April 29th at Wembley. But you will promise to donate to Ukrainian immediately after the fight. On £1,000,000 on every day of your deal, you will pay 1% from your poorest to Ukrainian people. Deal?
And it's quite interesting with this sort of offer, because on the face of it, it looks pretty reasonable, and is paying £1 million to Ukraine for what's going on, etc. That's actually probably a better deal for Fury in the circumstances than he otherwise get if it was 60-40 or whatever. But will he take it? Well, probably not. He wants 70-30. He's probably not willing to part with £1 million. And we do have a little bit of form for that. Remember, he talked about donating to the homeless after the first Wilder fight. There was no evidence that that ever occurred, and that homes got built in his name off the so-called donated money. So with this sort of situation, with Usyk sort of saying, and the amount increases by 1% every day, I don't see Tyson Fury taking it. And the fact that these negotiations are all so public now, it's back and forth. You know, things had been a little bit quiet for a while. Obviously, they were talking, discussing, trying to come to an agreement. But now, what's happening? It gives me 2018 vibes. And what I mean by that is we've been here before with a potential undisputed fight. Joshua, Wilder, everyone A-siding everyone into oblivion, trying to do this and limit the other guy, that and all this sort of stuff, back and forth, acrimonious. Similarly, this is sort of going down that path. And if Tyson Fury is really about 70% for himself, then he's dreaming. The fight probably won't get made. I don't see him donating $1 million of his money, his purse, from whatever immediately after the fight. I think this is a case that they want that in writing and probably the money in escrow or something like that. But this is coming down to money, as boxing always does at some point. At some level, it's always about money, and people want to get paid, especially when you're at the pinnacle of the sport for an undisputed fight that hasn't happened in a generation. Everyone wants to get paid. We've had Bob Arum saying if people are negotiating in public with this fight, that the fight isn't going to get made. And I think he's being a bit of a prophet here. Although, you know, his side, Frank Warren, is actually out there in public, making demands and deadlines, saying it has to happen this week. We need to have this agreed. And obviously, Oleksandr Usyk's side is responding in kind, given some of the comments in the media. And now Fury is out there saying 70-30. People will question, does he want this fight? Does he want to face the so-called pumped-up middleweight in Oleksandr Usyk? Because if he believes it's such easy work, why wouldn't he take a 60-40 to the winner? But he wants more. He thinks he is the commercial A side. And I think if this fight doesn't happen, and it's all down to money, and Fury is seen as the blockage, or at least in part the main part that the fight didn't get made, bearing in mind there are two sides to this. Some people say Usyk should just submit. But then again, he's got 3 of the 4 belts. There's an argument to say he deserves more than 30%. And I don't think that's an unfair argument to make. People will blame Fury if the fight doesn't happen. There will be a backlash, and potentially by casuals too. Maybe they'll be like, well, we could have had Undisputed. I don't want to see you with Joe Joyce, whose profile is smaller potentially than Usyk's overall globally, but maybe in the UK it still makes a lot of sense. It'll still make money, but it won't be the fight that people want. Drop a comment, loud and often. Hit like, hit subscribe, follow me on Twitter. Boxing_squared. I'm out.